This Week in History marks 18 years since the September 11th terrorist attacks, and we're going to be looking at one event that preceded the attacks that had a major effect on the global war on terror. The question is, how did one assassination pave the way for the September 11th attacks and also lead to a never-ending war in Afghanistan? This all centers around the man known as the Lion of Panjshir, Ahmed Shah Massoud. Now, Massoud was a powerful guerrilla resistance fighter in Afghanistan. Massoud cut his teeth as a resistance fighter against the Soviet Army during the Red Army's occupation of Afghanistan in the 1980s. He would come to lead what was known as the Northern Alliance and eventually the United Front. After the fall of the Soviet Union, he fought another group that was already entrenched in Afghanistan, the Taliban. Throughout the 1990s, Massoud tried to get aid for his forces in Afghanistan. He routinely tried to warn the world about the broader implications of a Taliban-led Afghanistan. Unfortunately, he was never able to get consistent US aid in his fight. Now here's a very interesting part. In April of 2001, Massoud addressed the European Union. And while speaking there, he talked about the dangers of a potential major terrorist attack on US and European soil. It was an attack he felt would change the world, carried out by a group given safe harbor by the Taliban in Afghanistan, Osama bin Laden's Al-Qaeda. Now, at the time when the reports came out, people seemed to think that he was just grasping at straws in a losing war, but boy were they wrong. Massoud continued to warn globally throughout the summer, but on September 9th, he was silenced. Al-Qaeda operatives posed as journalists to interview Massoud, and during the interview they set off a bomb inside the camera that killed Massoud. And then 2 days later, September 11th happened. If his previous warnings had fallen on deaf ears, why did Al-Qaeda assassinate Massoud? Today, most reports point to the role that Massoud would have played in the war in Afghanistan. Directly after the September 11th attacks, when the US forces were going into Afghanistan, Massoud would have acted as a critical ally in the battle against the Taliban. The belief really is the United States would have been able to stabilize the region with the Lion's help. But that's an alternate history we'll never know, and 18 years later, we're still fighting a never-ending war in Afghanistan. Hey, thanks for watching This Week in History. If you liked it, give us a like and a subscribe. And if you're a hater, we accept delicious snacks sent to our building, especially ones that have chocolate.